All right, let's talk about something that has the power to change, well, pretty much everything in your life: your mindset. It's kind of like this invisible script that's always running in the background, telling you how to deal with challenges, with success, and even with failure. And really, it all boils down to one of two core beliefs you have about yourself. So let me ask you a question, straight up. Do you think your intelligence, your talents, are they just fixed things, something you were born with, and that's that? Or do you see them as something you can actually develop with dedication and a lot of hard work? Your answer to that one question says a whole lot about your current mindset. Now, these two different ways of looking at the world, they have names. On one side, you've got the fixed mindset. That's the belief that your qualities are basically carved in stone. And on the other side, you have the growth mindset, which is the idea that you can cultivate your abilities through effort. You can almost think of them as two totally different operating systems for your brain. Okay, so let's dive into that first operating system, the fixed mindset. When you truly believe your talents are a done deal, your main goal in life becomes proving you have enough of them, again and again. It becomes a world totally built on needing to look good. You know, the little voice inside your head might sound a lot like this. Skills aren't earned, they're just natural gifts. This creates this constant pressure to seem smart and talented, and it can make you really afraid to try anything you might not be amazing at right away. And you can see how that leads right to this next idea. I mean, if your abilities are fixed, a challenge isn't an opportunity. It's a huge risk. It's a chance to fail and, expose that you might not have enough talent. So what do? You just try to avoid challenges altogether. And that makes perfect sense, right? Why would you go into a new, scary territory when you can just stay where you're comfortable? Sticking with what you already know how to do is safe. It pretty much guarantees you'll succeed, and it confirms that belief that, yeah, you are good at it. But this is where this mindset gets really, really limiting. A setback isn't just a bump in the road. It's seen as a final judgment. Failure is taken as absolute proof that you've hit the ceiling of what you're capable of. And there's really nowhere to go from there. And finally, what happens when you see someone else do well? It can feel like a threat. In a world where talent is this limited, fixed thing, someone else's win can feel like it highlights your own limits. And that often leads to feeling jealous or just not good enough. But what if there's another way to see things? Let's flip the script and explore the alternative, the incredible power of a growth mindset. This whole worldview is built on a totally different idea, the belief in your own potential for change. And it's actually backed up by what we're learning about the brain's amazing ability to rewire itself. Now, talk about a contrast, right? This is the heart of a growth mindset. It's not that you don't think talent is real, but you believe that effort is what really matters. It's the idea that your true potential is kind of an unknown, and that passion and hard work are what really gets you to where you want to go. From this point of view, challenges aren't threats to be avoided. Heck no, they're the entire point. They're seen as these amazing opportunities to stretch yourself, to learn something new, and to just become more capable. Challenges are basically the fuel for growth. And that naturally leads to a love of learning, a real sense of adventure. Trying new things isn't about proving yourself anymore. It's about finding out what you could do. The process itself is the reward, no matter what happens right away. And this might be the biggest game changer of them all. With a growth mindset, failure isn't a final verdict. It's just information. It's a message that says, okay, that didn't work. Let's figure out why and try a new way. It's a stepping stone, not a wall. So instead of feeling threatened or jealous, the growth mindset sees other people's success and feels inspired. It's living proof of what's possible when you put in the work. You can actually learn from them, celebrate with them, and use their success as a kind of roadmap for your own goals. So we've looked at these two very different paths. Now let's put them right next to each other, head to head, to make the differences totally clear. This image just lays it all out so perfectly, doesn't it? You can see the two paths splitting off from the same place. One path, the fixed mindset, is all about beliefs that create limits and fear. And the other path, the growth mindset, is paved with beliefs that lead to learning, to getting back up again, to inspiration. It's like two completely different worlds living inside the very same brain. Let's really nail this down. Take a situation like failure. One mindset sees a dead end, the other sees a lesson. What about a challenge? One mindset backs away to stay safe, the other leans in to get stronger. And when you see others succeed, one feels smaller,
The other feels motivated. It's the exact same event, but you're living in two completely different realities.
So, after seeing all this, the big question is, are we stuck on one path? And the great news, the most powerful part of this whole idea, is that the answer is a definite no. You have a choice. And here it is, the most important takeaway of all. These mindsets, they aren't permanent parts of your personality. They're just beliefs. And you know what? Beliefs can be looked at, they can be questioned, and they can absolutely be changed. You can actively choose to live in a growth mindset just by changing that little voice in your head, by reframing challenges and seeing effort as the way to get better.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. Now that you know the difference, you have a choice. Every single time you face a challenge or a setback or you see someone else succeeding, you have a split second to decide. Which lens are you going to look through? Which mindset will you practice? Today, the choice is all yours.